back to Pillar Sports, and today we are talking about the player ratings. We are going to be talking about the player ratings. It is Manchester United versus Ipswich at Old Trafford. Manchester United find a way to win 3-2. Of course, we were playing for the entire second half, one man down. But we find a way, and that was absolutely through great determination and character. So from the goal, I'm going to start from the goalkeeper all the way to the striker. Number one, the goalkeeper. Andre Onana has cost us so much this season. He cost us so much last season. And this season he started in a very, very good manner. But we are now seeing him revert to some bad habits. The two goals that they scored can arguably be sitting on the lap of Andre Onana. Because first goal, he had the opportunity to communicate with Dogu. Because Dogu is tracking the ball up. You communicate with Dogu, he can hear you. Dogu passes the ball. It's either you did not communicate or the communication was not clear enough. And also, I will talk about Dogu in that situation. But the second goal, you're meant to track the ball, especially when a goalkeeper and nobody touches the goalkeeper, touches the ball, and the ball goes in the back of the net. That is definitely your fault. And so for that, I think I'm going to be giving Andre Onana a 5 out of 10. It is below average. You can do better. You should do better. Now let's go into the defense. This is one of my favorite parts. Harry Maguire and Matthijs de Ligt, they get an 8. Not only because they did a good job after the red card, but they also contributed in us winning this game. Directly contributed in that. Because de Ligt gets a goal, Maguire gets a goal. That's a direct contribution in us winning the game. And then we look at Dogu. The first goal, you had a fault in that. And I understand the communication between you and Andre Onana should be better. But you need to also understand that there's always a throw-in. If you do not understand what you're meant to do in this city, if you're caught in a loop, you kick the ball to a throw-in. You even kick the ball to a corner kick if you must. But the first choice is either you kick the ball to the throw-in, or you make sure it gets to your goalkeeper in the right position. Not towards the goal, away from the goal. That has to be the case. And I understand that Andre Onana basically would dictate where he wants the ball. But it has to be a rule of thumb. It has to be a rule of thumb. So for Dogu, even though he had a very good first half until the red card, which was so ill-advised because Hutchinson was going nowhere. And now we are going to be losing Dogu for 3 games. Dogu in this position, I believe, is going to be having a 5 out of 10. It's below par. It is below par. And for Harry Maguire and de Ligt, have I said it? I said 8, right? Yes, 8. And now let's go to Diego Dalot. Diego Dalot, in the first half, we understood you were playing your position, and it was actually better. You were making the runs, you were making the bar line, you were attacking, you were defending, and that is what we want to see. But then the moment you go into the left-hand side, and all of a sudden, things start to fall apart. It's like you are Chino Achebe or something, but things start to fall apart. And that's a problem. And so for that, I'm going to be giving you a 6. A 6 is an average because you can do better. You did well in the first half and not so well in the second. Now we go to Mazraoui. Mazraoui did a really good job coming in for Garnacho in the end of the first half because of the red card. I think it's a 6. There's really nothing crazy, but there was a fight. There was a way that he was basically being strung around by the defense, which I loved so much because Harry Maguire and Matthijs de Ligt controlled that defense in such a way that Ipswich did not have an opportunity. They only just kept on needing to cross and cross. And with that, Maguire is going to win it every day. The Ligt is going to win it every day. Against Liam Delap, of course. And so I have to give him a 6. Now let's go into the middle. Bruno Fernandes and Ugarte. Because Bruno Fernandes in the first half, you saw coordination. You saw the reason why the likes of Steve Howson has been crying for him to play that deeper line, because we do not have a playmaker. That's the key part. If we do have a playmaker, it would have been a different case, because Bruno is always more effective closer to the post. But because we do not have that, he becomes the one to coordinate, and he is also good at it. Because you saw in the first half, he was coordinating and we were creating, and he gave us 3 assists in the game. And for that, I am giving Bruno Fernandes an 8.5. An 8.5 in Bruno Fernandes. He absolutely won this game for us single-handedly. Especially after the runs that we saw. The runs that we saw when everybody was tired. Understanding that he's still a threat. Ipswich did not have the cojones to push up everybody. They had to still put it in their mind that we need to keep some people back. And then we see Ugarte. Ugarte did pretty good. So I think I would give him a 7. That's a pretty good. He did his job, right? He held up play. He intercepted play. I would take that from Ugarte, especially because he's coming back from not feeling well, from having a knock in training. So I would take that from Ugarte. And of course, we saw Casemiro also coming. Casemiro did his job. I'll give him a 6. Now let's go into the 2 10s, which was Garnacho and Xerxes. Garnacho started the game playing well. I have a problem with him always trying to cut back to the right-hand side when every single player, every single defender that watches film knows that he wants to do. And he's not like Iron Robin that you know that he wants to do it, but you can't stop him. He's getting fouled every time, and I know, yes, it is good to get the foul. But sometimes, and in fact, it was his foul that gave us the equalizer. But sometimes, the better option is to lay the ball for Dogo to get. It's to lay the ball for Xerxes to go on. It's to lay the ball for Bruno, for any underlap or overlap that was coming, instead of you trying to cut back always. So I give him a 6. And of course, he was sacrificed in the first half for Nuze Mazarawi. It was needed. I don't want him to feel like he's always a sacrificial lamb. No, it was absolutely needed. If we do not do that, we don't win this game. I don't believe so. And then in the attacking line, we have, well, I haven't talked about Xerxes yet. So Garnacho gets a 6 for me. Xerxes gets an 8. Just everything he did today, every fight, every ability, every run, every ball on the string that came from Onana boy, he brought it down like the hand of what? It was beautiful. The hold up play was truly amazing. Nobody can argue that in my front, and I would agree with them. No one. It was beautiful football from Zirk. It was. And that is why he played almost 90 minutes. And Højlund was taking off. Now let's talk about Højlund. Højlund gets a 5 for me. I think it's a 5. The reason I would say it's a 5 in this situation is because he's still so sorely lacking of confidence. There was a chance he had that he opened his legs, he did a dummy, and I understand that would have created a better chance for whoever is in the back of him. But as a striker, as the person that is meant and is taxed to score goals, that is not your first thought. That is not your first thought. You do not have a team like Wayne Rooney and Cristiano Ronaldo and Tevez playing in one team. If you do, then I understand why Wayne Rooney would do a dummy, because he knows that Tevez is behind him. He knows that Van Persie is behind him. He knows that Cristiano is behind him. But you are playing in a team that Joshua Zirkzee is not playing as an 8 to you or as a supporting striker. He's playing as a 10. So you need to swing your left foot at that ball, because the ball came to you on your strong foot. I understand if the defender deflects it, but that is the only way that you get the confidence that you need, is by trying and scoring goals. If you do not attempt, you are not going to get your confidence, and you do not score. That is the problem. And for Amorim, I'm going to give him a 7.5. 7.5 because he found a way to win the game. He really does. He really did. Let me know what you guys think about this rating down below. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that follow button, so you guys do not miss anything here on Pillar Sports. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.